Hello everyone. How are you all? Happy Surprise Live. I have been live already once today, but I wanted to come in here and expand on something that I touched on last night. So before I get into that, hello, my name is Woodbridge. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Australia. I am on the east coast of Australia, halfway between Sydney and Newcastle, so I'm about an hour north of Sydney, live in a beautiful area, close to the ocean, close to the hills, and yeah, just lovely. So welcome if you're watching live or if you're watching my replay. Welcome Pam, how are you? So last night I posted about some unconventional use of tools. Now just let me get up my replay here just in case anything goes wrong. I know I've got my replay. So I posted a photo of the Stampin' Up! Paper snips, the Stampin' Up! Take Your Pick tool with the crafter's pick attachments, and I also shared a photo of reverse tweezers. Now these are the reverse tweezers out of the embossing editions kit, so that is great. Now you guys can see everything. Whoops, there we go. You can no longer hear me, which is a really good thing. So these are the three tools, although I will explain in a second. I use a different brand. I've had these for a very long time, a different brand of reverse tweezers, and I'll explain in a second what's going on. So for those of you who don't know, and I have spoken about this in a number of videos, I talk about it all the time because it's who I am and what I have. I have a condition, a disease called Charcot-Marie tooth disease. Hey Rose, and it is inherited neuropathy, peripheral neuropathy. So it affects the peripheral nerves in my body, so hands, legs, all of that. That's how I got into crafting, so I can be using my hands. So if you are regular watching my crafting videos, or even if you're new, you may notice my hands tremor. I don't, Rose, that is right. You may note like this finger permanently just doesn't straighten anymore, which is why I do use this finger for my pointing, because it's a finger that works. And people do think I'm being rude. No, I'm not. I have a disability, and it's just how my body works. So with all these things in mind, and this is the reason why I craft, I use a number of our tools in very different ways. Hello Glenda, and this is what I was asking about last night, because Rose's husband has the same condition as me. So yeah, it's an inherited disease. My two children have the disease, and I recently went to a conference here in Australia. I'm on the national committee for our association here, and it was really interesting being in a room. 80% everyone had a similar condition. There are different arms of the condition under the umbrella, but yeah, it was very interesting going, oh, you walk that way, or you do this, or you do that. So a lot of people have connected with me because they also have hand issues. So I just want to show you some of the ways I use our normal tools a little unconventionally. And the one that lives on my desk and only goes away at the end of the project is our paper snips. Now, these paper snips are basically my hands. So these paper snips fit really nicely in my hand. So this is basically my finger when I am trying to pick things up. So this is going to be face-to-face video. I'm just going to show you, probably not as elegantly if I was face down, but you will get my gist. So I use my scissors to pick up dimensionals, just like that, because I can't use my fingers. I have nice nails. My nails are jewels, not tools. So partially that and partially my hands don't do what I want. So I use my scissors to pick up dimensionals. In the same way, now I can't get the dimensional off my scissors. In the same way, I will pick up a piece of paper off something. If I can't pick it up with my finger, I'll slide my scissors under there just to help me out. You can also use your scissors with your embellishment. So these are the tinsel 4-pack of gems, but you can use them like that. I use these, and I like to drop things quite a bit. I use these scissors in many different ways, and I find because I'm short, I have small hands, these scissors just fit perfectly in my hand. I do also use them as a pair of scissors, but that is very rare. And the one thing I use them for that I freak everyone out about is opening our ink pads. So this is one of our classic ink pads. Okay, it opens like a makeup compact. So we have a little place for your finger there. Okay, so this opens. I do have a tip about that. Now, I normally pop it on my desk and close it. Ready to use, ready to rock and roll. It's in the closing that I use my scissors. I will show you the end. Can you see the little dot? Now that is an actual indent that is made in the manufacturing process. So with my closed scissors, I put, and of course, so I put the end of my scissors in that indent. Now, is this going to work? Because I'm holding it in the air and not on my desk. So, in this indent, I have the end of my scissors. And I push and I close. Just like that. People are always very scared I am going to I'm going to stab myself. I promise I'm not. I wouldn't put myself at that risk with my hands being as precious as they are. Welcome, Sue. So once again, you've got the hole at the end, the little indent. I put my scissors in there, and of course I'm going to have a tremor, and I'm going to drop the ink pad because I'm normally doing this. Hold on one second. So I have just pushed that a little bit with my scissors, but I can push that all the way out and then flick it closed and close it like that. I am just going to get that ink off my hands. So they are a couple of ways I unconventionally use my paper snips. If you have any other unconventional ways you use your paper snips, please share them in my post from last night. So last night for me was Wednesday the 20th of September. So the conventional use of a pair of scissors is to cut. I have not mentioned cutting. I do cut with them, but I use these scissors a lot more unconventionally than I do to cut. Now, the other two tools that I shared last night, this is the Take Your Pick tool. Now, we have a new set of ends for our Take Your Pick tool, and these are called Crafter's Tips. So on one end, we have a blade, okay? I rarely use that blade, and I always keep it covered for very obvious reasons because I'm going to stab myself with it. The other end is this little hook. Now, I use this hook a lot. I just spoke about putting my dimensionals on using my paper snips. And I use this tool, which is a little hook, to take off the backings of my Stampin' dimensionals. So I use it for that. I use it once again for lifting things up. I also use it for picking up and moving my embellishments around the page. What else do I do with it? I use it for everything. This basically doesn't leave my desk. My two most used tools, and I pretty much link it with every project I use. So please tell me, it is actually a weeding tool. So if you've get the interior pieces out of your die cuts, that would be the conventional use for it. The unconventional use is take backings off dimensionals, moving things around your page, picking up your embellishments and placing them down. I do find it much easier for me personally to use the hook than I do to use the conventional straight tool. So that's a conventional paper piercer that you can use for the same purpose. Once again, another unconventional use, but somehow having the little hook on the end of this really helps me, and I don't know how, I don't know why, but these are, I even bought its own handle. So I actually have 3 of these tools in my, I actually have 4. I have 4 of these tools in my spinner over there. So I have 2, one with the paper piercer, one with the little spatula. They both have the putty ends, and I also have one with the die brush and the paper piercer, all used for different reasons, different occasions. But yes, do love the crafter's tip. Now, my third and final unconventional use, and I don't know, you can challenge me whether this is a conventional use or not. It is a pair of reverse tweezers. Now, these are the reverse tweezers that come with the Embossings Edition kit. Unfortunately, for the reduced strength in my hands, I find it very hard to open these. They are great. I just find them personally, for me, difficult to use. Am I happy Stampin' Up! Have reverse tweezers? Oh, yes, I am. But for me, I have a finer pair. Now, I've had these for a very long time. At one stage, I had 2 pairs because I lost one. At the moment, my second pair is lost. I'm sure it's somewhere sitting at the bottom of my spinner, but I haven't emptied it out to look for it because I still have one working one. So for me, these open quite easily. These are my best friend when I'm tying a bow. So whether I'm tying a bow with twine or whether I'm tying a bow with ribbon, it allows me to have 2 hands to form the bow. So what I do, I tie a knot, I open them, and I clamp the knot in between the tweezers. So technically, I'm not holding a piece of paper. These are also great for holding a piece of paper when you're embossing to get your hand further away from that heat tool. I don't know if I'm stretching the unconventional with holding a knot with it, but whenever I hold a knot with it, my viewers who haven't seen me do this before lose their mind. They basically went, "You just did what? I never thought of using that," because tweezers are for picking things up, like your embellishments, for like holding the piece of paper when you don't want to burn your hand with the heat tool. But to hold a knot for a bow? what? So it holds the knot. So then I've got two hands to form the bow. When my hands were more nimble and had more function, I was able to use a finger to hold the knot while I formed the bow and not to lose tension on my actual piece around whatever element I am tying. So I have lost the ability to hold that knot now with my finger, which is where this comes in. So these are just three of the tools, and my probably three most used tools. I also do have a little bit with my bone folder. I'm just going to throw it in. My bonus tip, and this is actually a really easy tip. We are going back to our ink pad. So we have this finger piece here. Now, a lot of people do find it hard just to lift this up. If you're watching me earlier, you know. So what you can do is just pop this here and twist. And you can see it has just opened it up enough that you can get a better handhold, or you can get, so you can see I've just popped in and used my bone folder without stressing my fingers to open that ink pad. So it's not open all the way, but I did get ink on it, but that's okay. I do have a wet baby wipe that I used a little bit earlier. Don't shove it in like I just did, but you can see where I'm going. It just, if you give it a little wiggle, it will open it up just enough so you can get in there and have a successful time and not be hurting your fingers opening the ink pad. So that's all I have for you tonight. I do hope that helped you. If you have any other tools that you use in your crafting that you use in an unconventional way, please post it in my post. I would love to know, and I know all my viewers and followers would love to know as well. I will see you soon. Have an amazing weekend. I probably won't be back before next Tuesday, which is my Facebook Live. And I hope to see you there or on one of my replays really soon. Bye.